Good morning. My name is Lateesha with LateeshaHinton. I'm an astrologer, numerologist, tarot reader, and I am here today to talk with you about the North Node in the seventh house of the Natal Chart. I'm continuing my series. I've gone 1 through 6, and you can find that here on Spreaker, on SoundCloud, on my YouTube channel at Lateesha Astrological Counselor on YouTube. And I also have a Facebook page with the same name, and I have an Instagram. You can follow me there at LB Hinton1MS, and I have the daily astrological reports, and I do a daily tarot reading for the message from Spirit, so you can check me out there. But today I'm going to continue on talking about the South Node. So the South Node, I'm sorry, the South Node, if we're going to go with the South Node is what we have done in the past. So it sits opposite the North Node. So what we have perfected in the past life. If you don't believe in past lives, then it is what you have done when you were younger. You've perfected it. You are highly gifted at it. And the North Node is what your soul has incarnated to do in this particular lifetime. What you accomplish to help with the evolution of your soul. So with the North Node in the house, your focus this time around should be on diplomacy, harmony with others, strengthening relationships with other people, focusing on being the mediator, if you will, um, focusing on contractual relationships and partnerships, and being able to work well with other people, coming in and doing a project, with someone else, collaborating with other people, taking in their ideas and taking them into account. For in the past life, with the South Node would be in the first house if the North Node is in the seventh house. So in the past life, you were focused on things of self. And that's what you're really good at. When you have the North Node in the seventh house, you work really well by yourself. You don't like to collaborate. You like to run with your own ideas, work by yourself, have things done under your own counsel. You don't take other people's ideas and what they have to say very well. You dismiss it, and you do well. You can do well starting a business by yourself, doing projects by yourself, traveling by yourself, doing everything alone, and do it well. Be the boss. Be the leader. However, what begins to happen is as you get older, you find that there is less and less fulfillment in that because that's not where your soul has come to do this time. Although you can do that well. Now it is about you coming to the point with other people. So the seventh house is the house of Libra. So Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is this beautiful Venusian energy. So when Venus is in her home sign of Libra, we have this element here of communication, as that Libra energy is an air sign. So it is about talking and sharing and writing with someone else, or other people. Could be more than one person. So with the seventh house with Venus, the energy of Venus as it relates to Libra in the seventh house, it is about having an appreciation for art and beauty and the works that other people have done and the things that other people have accomplished to help with music anything that has to do with beauty, fashion, and makeup. And uh, there is this beautiful feminine energy that is associated with it because it is about diplomacy. And there is an openness to others. Whereas that Aries energy, first house energy, is very masculine, it's very self assertive, it is very focused, on the self. What do I want? I'm not working with anyone else, I'm doing it by myself. And the idea of partnering with someone is scary because then your idea may not be accepted if you work with others. Your idea may not prove to be the best one, and you may not receive all of the applause, you know. And that's where the fear comes in. So wherever the North Node is, it is a challenge, of course, to move in that area because it is unfamiliar territory. It's uncharted waters for your soul. All right. So let's say, for instance, we have the sign of Gemini in the seventh house, Sagittarius in the first house. So the North Node sitting in the sign of Gemini. So Gemini is all about communication, and it is all about your community in which you live. It's about siblings and cousins. It is about knowledge. So the seventh house is an air house. There's an energy of air there. So it is still about communicating with the others and collaborating with your community and seeing how you can work in partnership with your community. If you have a spouse, or it is perhaps working with your spouse who is from your community in which you grew up, and that may be something that you are averse to. With the North Node, South Node, and it may be challenging for you to even enter into marriage, enter into partnership, because that's going to call for sharing. And the first house energy doesn't necessarily want to share one space. Even, you live with someone, typically if you're married or if you partner up, intimately like that, you live with someone else. So with the North Node, there it may be challenging, that the very idea of sharing closet space or sharing the bathroom and being able to blend your energies that way. So it is about talking to someone else, and actually being still enough in community, where Sagittarius is about roaming around to other places, foreign places, far away from home, far away from the community, and just being kind of like a nomad going all around. And Gemini is an energy that is close to home. It's close to family. They like to gather. Gemini is about gathering information and being able to work with other people. But it is about being close to home, being close to family, close to siblings, and staying within the community. So if you have the South Node in Sagittarius in the first house, definitely an individual who loved being out and about and away from the community and being by themselves, traveling to this far and distant places. So now the call is to be within the community, partnering with the community, those within the community, even perhaps marriage with someone in the community. And then this is Gemini, North Node in Gemini in the seventh house. So let's say you have um, Scorpio in the seventh house, North Node in the seventh house, in the sign of Scorpio. So with this, Scorpio is all about intimacy and oneness and complete intimacy with another. So if the North Node is there in the seventh, then the South Node would be in the first house in the sign of Taurus. So it would have been a life of collecting goods and material things for the self, you know, hoarding for the self, gathering money for the self. Now the call is to share resources with another. And Scorpio can be very possessive. And the challenge of the North Node in the Scorpio in the sign of Scorpio in and of itself is to become intimate, completely intimate and vulnerable and open with another person. Because when you're open and vulnerable with someone else, you bring an opportunity for hurt and harm. And that is one of the reasons that the Scorpio energy can be very closed off for fear of being seen for who they really are and then being rejected or being hurt. So, with the North Node in the seventh house in the sign of Scorpio, it is about being open with resources and sharing that with others, with another. Trusting, huge word for Scorpio in the North House. Moving towards trusting another with your resources and sharing your resources with them for the partnership. Being able to accept someone else's ideas, because Scorpio is about leadership. It is Mars ruled. So Aries and Mars, Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by Mars, but the energy is internalized. It's very hidden and quiet within the sign of Scorpio. So there you do have a leader. You have someone who is about moving out in accordance with their own will. So Scorpio, when they do enter into partnership, it is one that they want to keep for life because it is a fixed sign. So with the energy that is associated with the seventh house, this is causing the Scorpio energy to have to open up and share and talk more, which is something that is far into Scorpio energy. But it is about sharing resources and releasing the need to hoard everything and have complete power over and possession over everything, and to bring it into union with another, which is a huge challenge oftentimes for Scorpio. Okay, so that is what I have to share with you today on the seventh in the seventh house. If you have any questions, please write me, email me, contact at LateeshaHinton.com, visit my website, LateeshaHinton.com. If you're watching this or listening to this on YouTube, leave me a comment. I will quickly answer you. I want to hear your thoughts and your experience if you have the North Node in the seventh house. All right, thank you.